Hello everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Blobiverse devlog. In the last devlog, we got to see how much stuff we could cram into Blobiverse. This week, it's pretty much the same, but I have a couple more things in store. First off, Blobiverse now tracks the iPhone low power mode, and it will try and save battery when you turn it on. I know many people like to play Blobiverse on flights and long car rides, so I want to give you guys a bit more time to enjoy the game. Blobiverse will try to cut the frames in half and play at 30 FPS, but as you can see, it's still very playable. So I started off by building a Pathfinder. A Pathfinder essentially allows me to trace a route from point A to point B. The color markings that you see designate islands. You can't travel between islands because they're blocked off by a body of water. In the future, they might be crossable by boats. But for the time being, water acts as a barrier. So here I've spawned a pig. As you can tell, the pig is fully animated and he faces in the direction that he's walking. He is also just minding his own business and going wherever he pleases. Essentially, he just picks a random location around him, and he asks the Pathfinder to find a path there. Then he travels. This sounds simple enough, until of course we remember we have to do this for 100,000 pigs, so it better be snappy. Alright, here's where it starts to get a bit more exciting. The fidelity value. Fidelity describes level of detail, and blobs have one of three options at all times. They can either be detailed, simple, or minimal. Now, when I move the map around, I'm going to see a different set of pigs. Those pigs are now going to be detailed, as opposed to the previous pigs that can now be simple, and I can strip their image. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm actually going to turn that off. Now, as you can see when I scroll away, there doesn't appear to be anything there at all. But actually this isn't the case. Pigs that are outside of the camera just don't have an image. Now what I've done here is I've given an image to all those pigs that you're actually not supposed to see. So we've left the camera behind and here I am somewhere far off. As you can tell, the blobs look like they're kind of teleporting around, but really this is just their movement. We don't see them at 60 frames a second, but instead at 5 frames a second, or even 5 seconds per one frame. So why exactly am I explaining all of this? Well, I just want to give a little bit of context for what you're about to see. Now I've went ahead and re-enabled the region system, and looks like a lot of pigs, right? Well, you haven't quite seen it all. Check this out. And bam! 100,000 pigs. Every single one with places to be and a life of their own. Hit points, hunger, a movement tracker, animations, anything you can think of. Each one of the pigs represents a rough model for the future AI system. And as you can see, the pigs stay on land and they never venture out into the open water. And that's pretty much it. For the rest of the video, I'm just going to explore some interesting terrain and explain a couple things about the pathfinding algorithm. So here I found an interesting map. The pigs are all walking alongside the beach, perhaps enjoying a nice stroll in the morning. Well, apparently, the pigs believe the grass on the other side is greener, and they've decided to travel all the way there. I think in the final version of Blobiverse, I'm going to make them a bit more careful as to where they want to travel. But at the moment, the Pathfinder is just doing its job. Now, I wanted to show this map because it appears that the pigs are evacuating this little region of land. And if you're wondering why that might be, it's because they want to travel to the other side. But the question is, how are they going to get there? It doesn't exactly look like it's on the same island. Or is it? Okay, so far so good. Oh, right. You know, I suppose any regular pig would have died on starvation 3 times over during this journey. But they're gonna try it anyways. And the last thing I wanted to show you was kind of cool. I mean, this entire map is pretty much one continent. Now that's a lot of space for blobs to travel and eat and do whatever they like. All together. Well, you know, except for the ones on this island, apparently.